Hi, Michelle. Whew. We got through them bean cakes, didn't we? Today, I did not cook. I went up to one of our fast food restaurants and got some French fries, and I just didn't feel like it. After last night at church, I was just, today I wasn't worth anything. I just was real melancholy, and I don't know how to explain that. But my friend said it happens to you every time you speak, Pam, so go with it. I'm going to make some banana pudding. I was going to make some last week. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Laura. And I decided not to make it. I mean, I had the stuff, but the bananas was green when I bought them. So I decided to wait till the bananas got yellow. And boy, it did not take them long. So my husband and grandson said, when are you ever going to make any of that banana pudding stuff? So now I used to make it like homemade years ago. And I put meringue on top. And I put it in the oven, like just for long enough to brown that meringue. I'm not doing that tonight. I'm going to use Cool Whip. Chances are they won't eat the meringue, so I'll do it this way. Hi, Tammy. I seen where you was on vacation. I was glad you got to go. Hi, Linda. Glad you're all on here. So I'm trying to decide what size of my Tupperware pan I want to use. I've got two of these. They go in the microwave and the oven, regular oven, but I love using them for my refrigerator stuff too. I've got a 9x13 and this one here, it's a 2-liter, so I don't know if I should make a little bit or a lot because I'm not sure how it's going to go and I don't want to waste any. Cajun pinto last night. Wow, good, Melissa. Hi, Laura. My husband got up today. Now, I ate one of them bean cakes before I went to church last night with the cheese on them, and I made it through church. But, oh, it was so good. And my husband got up today, and he got in them bean cakes. I wrapped them and put them in the refrigerator. And he said, can I eat some of these? I said, you eat all of them you want. So he put his on a hamburger bun and put lettuce and onion on it. And he ate it like a hamburger. And I said, is that good like that? And he said, yeah. So he sat there and just ate away at that. So with the banana pudding, I'm going to do the real simple one. I'm going to do just the banana pudding and the wafers. I bought cheap ones because, you know, there's going to be pudding over top of them. And I'm going to use whipped topping. I just got the cheap kind. And, of course, milk. So I'm not sure yet. I'll decide at the last minute whether I want to go with the big or the small. If I knew someone would eat some besides just Tom and Trace and me, I would make the big one. But I hate to take the chance and, you know, just have to eat it all myself. I don't want to do that. So we're just going to open this up, this pudding. And it's just so simple, but it's so good. And I know you all probably know how to make this. But I'm just going to use my Tupperware Chef Pro. Put that in there. I think I'm going to just go ahead and try to do 2 at once. I've never tried it before. Now, does anybody remember how, hi Tammy, Hi, Diane. Hi, Sylvia. Does anybody remember how to layer this? Like, I know the cookie goes first, and then the banana, and then the banana pudding. Let me get a knife. I'm going to need that. So I know one of you probably knows. So, okay, we've got 2 boxes of the pudding, and I've got an extra one in case. So we'll do 4 cups of milk. Hi, Pam. Little fox. So there's 2 cups. And you know, yesterday when we made them bean cakes, I wasn't hungry after I ate the one. I wasn't hungry at all. Okay, let me get this now. We'll just take and start getting that mixed up as we talk. I'm making, Jolene, I'm making a simple banana stack pudding. Dessert. I don't have a hand mixer, so I'm going to do it with this because I don't want to drag my big KitchenAid out. And my grandson mentioned some banana pudding stuff. And I knew what he meant, what they wanted. And I asked Tom, I said, do you like it? And he said, I like it. So he also mentioned maybe pork chops sometime this week. So I don't really like pork a lot. But I can make him some baked pork chops where he could chew them real good. Banana pudding is what we're working on now, though. I can feel that getting a little thicker already. I think this is good therapy for your arms too, if you're making something like pudding or whatever. The cake mix doesn't take as long, but it's getting thick. And that's 4 cups of milk and 2 boxes of banana. You can either put vanilla or banana pudding. Did anybody say whether we was supposed to put the cookies are first? Yeah, Diane. I'm sorry. I'm guilty all the way. Yes, it is what it's all about. Anyway, the cookies go first, I know, but next I think it's the bananas, isn't it? Or is it the cookies, pudding, and then bananas? Stuffed pork chop sounds good, Rhonda. Let me check this out. Oh my, yeah, that's thick. This thing works a lot quicker than what you think. So I'm going to take that out for just a minute. So I've already got my pudding ready. Can't lick this pudding thing because it'll tear my tongue up. So we got the pudding ready. And I'll start. So I wonder if I should go ahead and make the big cookies, pudding, then bananas. Okay. I just wasn't sure yet how to do that because it's been a while since I've made this. I'm trying to think. I think I'll go ahead and do the big one. I really do. I'm going to try it. For the fact being that if we don't eat it all, which I think they will, if they're asking for it. Cookies on top. Yeah, you cook your pudding. I wished I would have done that, but I didn't, so. This is just going to be a simple thing to make. You put your cookies on the bottom. It'll be a nice dessert they can get into. Which they have cake mixes on sale for 69 cents this week at our local store. So I'm going to go get some chocolate Devil's Food cakes. And that way we'll have them when they want a chocolate lava cake. Which that's really cheap to make that. I have to look at that again. Cookies, bananas, and the pudding. Okay. I knew they was all three, but I didn't know which way. I can't remember which way I did them. I'll taste one of them, see if it's good enough for this pudding. Okay. Bananas. So what'd y'all have for supper? I'll tell you what my husband did. My daughter called after she got off work. And she said, would Dad like to run down to the Chinese restaurant with me? She was getting a takeout order. And I looked at him, I said, Mary Lou wants to know if you want to go down to Chinese and ride down with her just to get some food. He looked up and he said, yeah, I'll go get ready. Because he loves Chinese. I said, if you get Chinese, then I'm not fixing supper. I said, I'll just go up and get us I guess Tracy got a foot long. So that done that. I didn't have to fool around with a bunch of stuff. And I thawed out hamburger. Ground chuck, so I'm going to have to do something with it. Okay, so better get me a healthy bite. That cookie and banana together tasted like the pudding. Yeah, the bananas was really green. Okay, that's 2 bananas. Let's layer them out a little bit. Just kind of layer them out. Chicken cutlets and mashed potatoes. Boy, that sounds good. That's something we've got to do, isn't it? Is cook something to eat. My husband, he's just happy with anything, really. Okay, now I'm going to take some of this. Top with 1/3 of the pudding mixture. Cover with I can't get that to go up. So we'll just put some pudding on here. And who doesn't like pudding? I tend to put things pretty thick. I gotta be careful what I'm doing here. Because when I do pudding things, I always usually put a lot of pudding in it. So I've got that layered. So now I'm going to do cookies again. Chicken salad, and I had chicken and dressing casserole. Wow. Sounds good, Diane. So I'll put this over top again. I'll probably make some more pudding. Because I like a lot of pudding. Yeah, I used to make it old-fashioned where I cooked the pudding. I even made my own banana pudding and vanilla pudding. And then I would put the meringue on top because my friend, her husband, he really liked it that way. And so I would make it I think I only made it twice for him though. And I'd put it in a glass dish and heat that meringue up. So we're putting these on there. I think we got enough cookies on there. Banana. They tell me that I open bananas wrong. My grandkids told me I opened them wrong. What do I do with it? They said that the banana or the monkeys open them like this, they said, on the bottom. What they told me anyway. I'm going to cut these a little thinner. Wasn't sure how much I'd be using of anything with this big one. My sister-in-law, she was a very good cook, and she would get bananas. If somebody, like they had a lot of bananas they gave away and stuff, she'd let them get make all kinds of banana nut bread and banana bread, and she'd give each somebody one. We all miss that, I'm sure. They, back before I had children, before we had our first son, up in Creola, Ohio, they used to, her Aunt Pete was a very big woman, and she couldn't get around much. And they'd sit her at the table, and she'd have her stove over here, and she'd be at the table, and she'd make these big banana cream pies. They were like every bit of that thick. Then the meringue made them even thicker. But she'd make them cream pies. She made chocolate, banana, coconut. Chocolate, banana, coconut. I thought there was another kind. Butterscotch. And she'd make them pies and stick them in the oven with that meringue. And they would have a yard sale out front, just a little tiny yard sale. And as she made them pies, they would cool about 10 minutes, and she'd take them out there. She'd have somebody take them out there, and they had this line going. And they would take them out there and sell them. They sold them for $3 back then. And that was over 40 years ago. But, yeah, about 42, 43 years ago. But $3, you know, that was a good price for them great big pies. And they couldn't keep them going. I mean, they really sold a lot of pies. And that was something. And all I was so young, I just sit there and watched them. And I watched them, and I got this excitement about me, about them pies, you know. That's got a little bit of pudding in the bottom. Spread that on there. So yeah, I'd get excited watching them. Do them pies. I think I'm going to do another little bit of pudding. Let me get my little sharp thing out here again. Like this. So with doing the big one, I'm going to have to do another pudding, so it won't be so skimpy. So for the 9x13, I'm using 3 things of pudding, which would be 6 cups of milk. So we'll already have dessert done for tomorrow. There we go. So we'll just get this thickened up now. So them are really good for the oven or the microwave or the refrigerator. A lot of times I just stick whatever I had in the oven. I put the lid on that and then just stick it right in the refrigerator when it warms or cools down a little bit. Get it back out next day and put it back in there. This thing really chops quickly. And it also thickens up things quickly. That's not thick enough yet. To me, it's not. If I pour it in there now, it'll run down through there. It might be a good idea, though. So far I've seen chicken. Some of them's made chicken. So we're making banana pudding for tomorrow. You really don't have to do this very long, out like that, because it goes around. Just a little bit more to satisfy me. And we all know this is a very simple dessert. The biggest thing I've got to do is just clean up the mess after I get done peeling and all my little bags of pudding mixes, and I think that's going to be good enough because it'll thicken up later. Just add a little bit of that. Okay, there it is, laying in front of me. I'll just stick a little bit more of this one on. Cover it up real good. I hope this stays like this so I can just pour the rest over the top of the next layer. There we go. I keep wanting to add pudding, everybody. Actually, I could sit and eat all that. A lot of times when I watch people make stuff like this, I think, wow, where's the... Okay, we done the bananas and the pudding, and now we do cookies, right? My favorite food to make, oh boy, that's a very hard question because I love cooking. Let me think on that just for a minute. Let me go through all the things I've cooked to see what I like the best. I love everything with cabbage in it. To cook everything with cabbage in it. But I love, now this is crazy, but I love spaghetti. And my favorite thing to can is spaghetti sauce. I like to sometimes just guess at what I'm cooking or create something different, just a couple ingredients different. And I know spaghetti's easy, but if you make your sauce and all that, it can get creative. I'm trying to think what my best would be. Well, I don't think any of you know this, but about 6 or 7 years ago, I mean, that's when we stopped doing the class. We were the leaders of a addiction class. And we had these books called, Life's Healing Choices. And we done the class on them, and we'd get a lot of people in that class. I mean, a lot of people. And it was a very secretive class, and we wasn't allowed to, say what was going on in it. But me and a friend cooked for that class every week for 3 years. We just cooked whatever. We didn't just make hot dogs and stuff like that. We made meals. And they really loved it. And I got to thinking, I wonder if they're coming for the meals or that. But I thought, well, they got fellowship anyway, so that's good. That I like to make. Oh, that's so hard. How could that question be so hard? Gosh, I've made so much and enjoyed it. You mean for me to make and eat? So that would change it a little bit. Because I'm funny about taste. Well, I've made noodles for so many years I don't even like to eat them anymore. But that's one of my family's favorite, and I like doing it. I like making the homemade noodles and cutting them up and stuff like that. So that's one thing I like. One of my favorite dishes that a lot of people like, and that I don't mind making, because I love working in dough. Everything. Hi, Brenda. We're making banana cream pudding dessert. Favorite thing to make. With the sweets, I like to make fudge. That's my favorite thing to make because I can make really good fudge. And food, I would say vegetable soup or spaghetti. One of the two. There's something about vegetable soup that I really like. I'm going to put a bunch of bananas on top of this because we still got to do the other. So I like that. I like creating vegetable soup. I think just about 2 years ago I started putting sweet potatoes or yams in my vegetable soup. And I would peel them and then cut them up, and you would not believe how delicious them things are in there. They don't turn to mush. But vegetable soup, I do like making it, and I do love it. And I always make sure there's a lot of cabbage and a lot of tomato in it. And I only put one type of meat. Tom's mom, my husband's mother, made it with hamburger. She used hamburger, so I learned to make it that way. My mom uses chuck roast beef in hers, and they both are really good. So I can make it either way. Now I'm going to ask you the same thing. What's your favorite thing to make? See how long it takes you. See if it takes you as long as it did me. Let's see. Now the pudding. I have to be in the mood to cook certain things. I got to tell you the strangest thing, and you're all going to think I lost my mind. And I cannot explain this. But when my granddaughter, our oldest, peanut butter fudge. Yeah, I like making that. You like making it too? When my oldest granddaughter, our oldest, went into the National Guard, it was like, because she's been raised around us, the three oldest, all of the grandkids has been right around us, 5 minutes apart, all their life. So when I found out she was going into the National Guard, and that's what she wanted to do, I cried. I didn't let her know I cried. But I cried and cried and cried for days, because when you're around your grandkids and you've been such a big part of their life, you hate to see them go to that next phase, in which the top 3 ones are now. But I cried and I prayed, and I just couldn't eat. And I'm a big person. I like to eat. And I would get a slice of bread, and when I got really hungry, and I'd pray all the time for her, because I knew what it was like. I didn't do it myself, but I knew what it was going to be like for her to be that far away from home, that long, under extensive training, going through the gas chambers, all that training she was going to go through. So I prayed a lot, and I couldn't eat. Oh, Laura, we'll have to make some easy peanut butter fudge so for you to know how to do it. It's easy, the easy kind, and it's good. So I got to where all I would eat for the first 4 weeks is peanut butter and butter. Butter sandwiches. You explain that to me. And every time I would get really hungry, I would just get peanut butter and butter. And my husband was getting worried about me. He said, I never seen you eat peanut butter and butter before. I said, I don't know what's wrong. I said, I just feel awful, and that's all I want to eat is peanut butter and butter when I get hungry. And I said, the bad thing about it is I'm craving it. I started craving it as soon as she went in there. And I can't, it's unexplainable to me. But, so, we got through it. She's home now. And I quit craving it. But I never heard tell peanut butter and butter together. So here's the cream. It's still a little bit, froze a little bit. I never was able to keep this with my 3 oldest grandchildren. Because when I had it in the freezer, they got it out and ate it like ice cream. They'd come in and say, you got any Cool Whip, Grandma? This is not Cool Whip, this is cheaper brand. Okay. Yeah, I found an easier way to make peanut butter fudge. And it tastes really good. It's half of what someone I seen do, and the other half is what I added to it to make it taste better. You just start adding stuff to things to make it taste better. Like we did the bean cakes. He did. Wow, so there is such a thing as peanut butter and butter. I'll tell you, I craved it. There was nothing like it to me. But I didn't know that was a thing. You know, I didn't know people did that. I just wondered why I was craving it. And it was real butter. I never ate margarine. It was real stuff. Put this over here. I'm going to put another one on there since it's a big one. So we started out with the cookies and then the bananas and then the pudding. Then we done cookies, banana, and pudding again. Until we ran out. So we'll put this on top. And then one of you suggested to crumble cookies up on top. So I think, I'm glad I made the big one because I wanted to use all these ingredients that I got. And if they don't, and which I'm sure they will get into it, but if they don't eat it all, I'll take some over to Mary Walters. She'll like it, that's for sure. She thinks I'm the best cook there ever was, but she doesn't know any better because I think she's only ate what I've cooked. So I'm just going to put it all on there. Spread it out. So that filled that whole 9 by 13 Tupperware baking pan. Lasagna. This is a lasagna pan. And I do have a lid it's hooved up about that far that will fit over this and keep it nice and fresh. And I think that's getting kind of pretty, don't you? And that's the way I used to do the meringue, just sit and go like this. My mom used to do her cakes she did for us like this, with the icing. Made little peaks on it. Make sure you go down there so you're down far enough to So there we go. Ooh, that's good, but sweet. Okay, so I need to take these cookies, crumble them up. Hold on a minute. I'm not going to do that with my hands. I hardly ever use this, so I'll use it tonight. I gotta watch that chair because I'll go clear across the floor. This is a little chopper I've had for a long time. Okay, I'm going to crunch some up in my one of the little choppers I've had for a while. Ah, stick your finger in it. I'm not even sure how this one will work because I've had it for so long. Kind of weird. It's got one that you stick up like this. It takes a lot longer than a Tupperware one. That might be the reason why I wasn't using it. I think the blades need to be turned too. So I think that's enough to put it on the top of there. Just sprinkle that all over the top. And I'm going to use them all since I chopped that many up. So that's the Tupperware lasagna pan, and it's perfect for like stuff like this. You don't have to get your plastic out. It's what I like about it, because everybody knows when you get plastic over something, sometimes it sticks to it. So I'll just turn that around there like that. Now what do you think? It's done. Cheryl, we made some banana pudding dessert with bananas and vanilla wafers and banana pudding and wafers on top. Now I've got a mess around me here. So there you are. There's your that thing is, this is a light pan, but it's heavy now. So see, I wanted to show you, I'm just getting pudding all over me. I don't know if it's on purpose or what. So the little one wouldn't have been big enough for all that. So see how this Tupperware thing's got a groove in it? You can just put that on top and it won't bother it. See? And reason being, see, it didn't stick or anything. But sometimes I'll take that and set it down when it's empty, put something in the bottom, stack that, and then stack another one on top with the lid. And it's like a stack cooker in your oven. You can do a big meal. So there it is, right there. And I'm going to stick that on there, and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. I love my lasagna pan. So there we are. I'll get the cookie crumbs all off of it. So now I'm going to have to clean up my mess. Cheryl, it is going to be good. I done 3 boxes of pudding. But I would have done 4 if I'd have bought 4 because I like the pudding in it most of all. And usually when I watch videos or something, somebody's doing something with pudding, I think, oh man, you're not putting enough pudding on it. You're not supposed to put a lot, but I do. You know, I put 3 just in this. And that's 6 cups of milk. So I've got this Tupperware lasagna pan. That way when they get some out, they can put this back on it. And they don't have to get the plastic off of it and have it to dry out and all that stuff. Because that's what happens around here if you don't keep on them. So I got this much cookies left. So I'll lay these out on the table. And I'll put them in a little cookie jar or something. And they can eat them. Because they're used to coming in here just picking up stuff off the table and throwing it in their mouth. So I always try to have something in here. The fried bread dough, it's in the refrigerator, the fried bread dough. The reason why I still have it in the refrigerator is because I stopped at the fast food store and got some, my husband ate at Chinese, so he went with my daughter and got him some Chinese, and I didn't cook. But if you want me to make some fried bread here and take it over there and fry it, we could do that. Not tonight, but we can do that. And I don't know what everybody thinks about that, but it is really good. But what I did was I got a one type of roll that I make, the dough, and you can make pizza dough with it, and fried bread and rolls. It'll all work together. You can do a lot of stuff with it. So we'll do that. I'm kind of getting backed up on things to make. We did do the pinto beans and we did the bean cakes yesterday. So now we'll have to do the fried bread. Usually when I do fried bread, I don't do a whole lot of other stuff for supper with it. We just eat the fried bread and put apple butter on it and stuff like that. Okay, Laura, we will. We'll make the fried bread. And I canned apple pie filling, and a lot of times when we make the fried bread, we'll get that out and heat it up a little bit and stick that on top. It's like it's just a wonderful dessert with the apple pie filling on it, on top of that fried bread. Okay, Cheryl and Laura, next will be fried bread. And also, it's a staple. Like I said, when you go to the store, just get some yeast, throw it in your freezer, and flour. If you've got them 2 things, you can have fried bread. And that's something, if you get low on groceries or you get low on stuff, fried bread is awesome. You don't know how many times I've had to make it for my family and make a big platter of that and just keep popping them out of there, you know. And I'd make that, and then I'd make another platter of fried bread, and I had cinnamon and sugar in a bowl. And as soon as that bread come off of that iron skillet or the skillet, I'd throw it over in the cinnamon and sugar. And then it tasted like one of them elephant ears. So they had the dessert too. So we were having a bread supper. But the thing of it is, when you're low on stuff, that's a perfect thing to have. And then when you're not low on stuff, it's a fun thing to have. It's always welcome. Fried bread's always welcome in this house. Any way we make it, it's welcome. Whether poor, rich, or whatever, it's a delicacy to us. Okay, we've got enough people on here that wants to do the fried bread. So you want to do it tomorrow at a certain time so I'll know when you can be on? What time do you think you want to get on to do the fried bread? Butter and salt. Wow. Salt. I will have to try that. I've never, ever done that. This butter and salt. But then Michelle told me yesterday to put cheese on the bean cakes, and I wasn't thinking that was going to be good, and it was delicious. So I like to take your suggestions, give me a new taste in my mouth. So put in the comments what time y'all think, you can, okay, Laura. Okay, I don't have a whole lot to do tomorrow, so how about I get on, let you guys know ahead of time when I'm going to get on. And you let me know what's good times for you guys, and then I'll go from there. Where the salt would raise your blood pressure. Yes, let's do that, Cheryl. A women's weekly meeting. We can do that too. I love that when we do that. I love you guys so much that I've just been thinking about getting on here all the time, but I got to watch that I don't, because then you'll get tired of looking at me. But I really enjoy it. Pick a time that is good for me. Either before 3:30 or around 7. Because from 3:30 to around 7, I'm pretty busy getting things ready around here. So I'll try to pick a time, but usually on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I'm pretty good with time. I mean, I don't have anything pressing to do. Just work at home. Laura said never. Okay, we'll pick a time, and I'll get off of here, get this in the refrigerator, and 7 o'clock is usually good for me. I'm finished with my work and dinner then. Sounds good to me. How about everyone else? Sounds really good. So we'll go from there then, and 7 is good. Okay, 7 o'clock it is. I'll tell my husband and grandson I need my kitchen. So we'll have them fed and out of here. So we'll get together and think of a day we could do the women's thing and just talk about things, things that is on our mind. So God bless you all, and I hope this is good when we dig into it. God bless you.